Josh Allen, Super Bowl MVP. They are favored in every game, the Bills are, so that does make sense. How bold is this prediction?
It's not bold at all.
Not bold?
Wow.
Now, I'm not saying I'm picking Buffalo to win it.
No, but this is a bold.
And I think the Chiefs should be the favorites in the AFC.
Really?
Yeah, they should be the favorites.
They win it every year.
Yeah, I mean, just look. They should be the
I'd
favorites.
say that. You guys yell at me.
But if it's not the Chiefs, it's either Buffalo or Baltimore. At least you look at it on paper as that. So I don't think this is bold at all. And as good as Josh Allen is, you figure it's not guaranteed, but you feel like he's going to get one at some point. He's going to get one. Mahomes didn't go into the Super Bowl every year of his career. So Josh has a shot. Lamar has a shot this year. It takes, on average, I think Hall of Fame quarterbacks win it in about their 6th year. You got some that win it early, some that win it late. Peyton Manning won it his 9th. This is Josh's 8th, will be his 8th season. So I don't think this is bold. Again, I'm not going to pick the Bills, but I don't think this is a bold.
Well, it's not predictions. You have till August. You might pick the Bills. Who knows?
Nah,
you have to do a lot of data.
I'm feeling
analysis.
purplish.
That's
a hint. That's a hint.
This would be my second pick.
Really?
Yeah. So listen, I think the Chiefs are the best team, and I think Mahomes would be the smartest bet. I don't think the Eagles are going to repeat, if for no other reason than if you're not Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady, you don't repeat in basically the free agency era of the NFL. John Elway, I guess, would be the other one, which was the very beginning of free agency. The team that if you were to tell me the Chiefs are going to get beaten in the playoffs, the team that I would say, fill in Mad Lib style that beat them, I would say it's Buffalo. At some point, I said this last year, if you guys remember, at some point, Mahomes is not going to go undefeated in the playoffs in his career against Josh. I just don't think he's going to. And the games have been, 3 of the 4 playoff games have been, down to the wire games. You've got to think at some point Buffalo gets over the hump. And my worry for Buffalo would be, and this would be, and honest to God, I know that, Bills fans, I poke at them a bit at times. I really would hope this doesn't happen. The worry would be they get over the Mahomes mountain, no pun intended, and then get clocked in the Super Bowl, which would feel almost cruel. You know what I mean? Like that they would need to be able to stay.
And that could happen.
100% that could happen. And you feel like that.
Or if they beat Kansas City and then lost to Baltimore or something.
Oh, if they played them early. I was envisioning
the
AFC Championship game, but if they played them early.
We talked about the ramifications and the fallout from the Super Bowl. And it feels like the blue line here is something that we're seeing. Philadelphia favored, they won the Super Bowl, we get it. But then it's Buffalo, Baltimore tied, so Kansas City's in
third. Well, third in the AFC, 4th overall.
4th overall.
Correct.
But we're all just like, Kansas City.
Well,
that's not what everyone else thinks.
Well, again, those are incredibly tight odds. Like the difference between 650, 700, and 750 are very close. Agreed. Sure. No, but if you remember, there was the Chiefs, not only because they lost, but because they got annihilated in the Super Bowl. A lot of the, I know that going into the Super Bowl, the Chiefs were 17-1 last year when Mahomes played. A lot of that went away. And it was like, they were lucky, the close games and those things. I also think the Chiefs should be, from an offensive perspective, markedly better than last year. I think they were the most injured skill positions of any team in the league, and they played 4 left tackles. You know what I mean? So they theoretically dealt with the tackle position.
Yeah, it's so weird how you don't want to offer that to any of the other teams that dealt with their injuries over the last couple of years, really, whether it be the Lions, the 49ers, even the Eagles. Like, it's weird. You only want to offer that to the Kansas City Chiefs and no one else. That seems a little convenient for me. So just interesting. But yeah, I mean, listen, I do think that the Chiefs will be in a better position than they were last year, but that does not mean that I think, though, that they then automatically get this front row seat to the AFC Championship game, Super Bowl, etc., etc. you guys can keep repeating the same nonsense again and again. Well, we got to the AFC Championship game every year. It's like, okay, sure, whatever you say. You want to keep living in that world because you guys also claim that same thing about Super Bowls and winning Super Bowls, and yet Patrick Mahomes now, if you want to keep saying history repeats itself, well then under that logic, then there's a great chance that Patrick Mahomes will get absolutely annihilated and smoked and embarrassed in the Super Bowl. So go ahead if you want to keep doing the whole, well, this is what always happens every year. Okay, well then Patrick Mahomes will get humiliated. If those are the rules that you want to play by. I don't play by those rules because I think it's dumb. But, if we want to, well, then we can say, I think, even if we believe that the Chiefs get back to the Super Bowl, I don't think Patrick Mahomes will be the MVP because he doesn't play great in Super Bowls. We just know that. Look at the stats. Look at the stats. He does not play great in Super Bowls. Just the way it goes. Just the way it is. Whether the Eagles are playing them or someone else. So, is this a bold prediction? Of course not. I think anytime you're going to pick the Ravens, the Chiefs, or the Bills to kind of get to the Super Bowl or any of those quarterbacks to be an MVP candidate, it's like, no, of course not. And Nick is so cavalier about the Eagles. It's like the Eagles have been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. And they played amazing in both those Super Bowls. So again, you can use this made up history of, wow, the only quarterbacks who ever do this are Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, and it's like, oh, well, Tom Brady was never humiliated in a Super Bowl. Tom Brady never played like that. So, again, you got to be careful with the words that you're using. So yeah, I mean, how bold is this prediction? Not at all. I think the Bills are in a great position to obviously win, to get to a Super Bowl. It is funny though, because before Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs got humiliated and annihilated and rocked and embarrassed and defeated in the Super Bowl, they would have not said, oh, well, of course the Bills can get to the Super Bowl and they could get smoked by the opposing team, by the team that they're playing in the Super Bowl. They would have never said that. They would have never said that. But since it happened to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, like, now it's on the table. That's pretty funny to me, quite frankly. Because there would be no reason to truly believe that Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are just going to put themselves in a position to get rocked. And in fact, I would argue that Josh Allen is better equipped to deal with the issues that a Super Bowl can bring, at least from, like, when things are starting to go wrong, like being under duress, getting a big pass rush coming your way, whatever it may be. The run game's not there. When things are going wrong in that regard from a more practical standpoint, I believe in Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes. If things are really perfect and highly run, sure, you can pick Patrick Mahomes over Josh Allen. That's fine. That's fair. But in more like Mayday, red alert situations, I'm taking Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes every single day of the week. I don't even have to hesitate, not even for a second. So yeah, but I mean, listen, all these predictions are, I have a love-hate relationship with them. Sometimes I like them that they exist because it's a platform for us to talk about the Buffalo Bills right now and what does it mean to the Chiefs and the Eagles and the this and then that. And I get it. It's a jumping off point. But like, I don't know. Talking about who do we think is going to be the Super Bowl MVP, like, it's hard for me to bring the same level of energy and passion towards a clip like this. Like, to me, a clip like this is like the definition of like, I got this going on in the background while I'm like making my dinner and I'm like half paying. I turned on the sink and I can like kind of hear it, kind of not. Turn off the sink, It's just like, oh, my mom calls me, hey, what's up? And I was like, I don't have to pause it. I just like, I let it go. You know what I mean? Like it's like, I don't know. It's just a little bit harder. But the truth is that's pretty much all of summer football takes, quite frankly. You could make that you could use that example for just every segment out there. But I guess, yeah, when you look at this, it's funny. For when they first showed these Super Bowl odds, Nick was like, just insulted and was like, it's how dare you put the Kansas City Chiefs at 4th under the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. And I said, guys, this is like minuscule difference. What these odds are saying are essentially Buffalo, Baltimore, and Kansas City are all there together. It's a toss up. And and that's what I said, and Nick was fighting about it, and the people in the comment section kind of pushed back on me. And then now today, Nick literally is like, well, the difference between 700 and 750 is really nothing. And it's like, well, you didn't have that view before. And the people in the comment section who really, the Kansas City Chiefs fans who really support Nick Wright's views, seems like Nick Wright just pretty much echoed my take when this first was released. So just kind of funny to see how that has unfolded as time has gone on. But really the way how I see it more than anything right now is that it's clearly Eagles, Buffalo, Baltimore, and Kansas City, those top 4. And I just think it's a hat. You throw all the teams in there. Who's going to win? No idea. Best of luck to you. Who's the healthiest? Who's at home? Who gets the lucky bounce? Whose player went down in the second quarter? It's going to come down to all that random stuff. Is Zay Flowers playing, or is he going to get hurt in the final game of the season? Is the starting safety for the Buffalo Bills going to be able to play start to finish, or is he going to have to leave the game? It's just like, what's the story here? Where are we playing? How are we playing? When are we playing? Home, away, health. What's going on here? Because I can say the one thing that I am confident about, and I'll leave it here, is that it's going to be the same story, just kind of different chapters. And where are we? I don't know. Where are we in this book right now of this era of, right now we're really living in the era of the Eagles, the Bills, and the Ravens and the Chiefs. Like these and the 49ers, although the 49ers have just changed a little bit more recently. But that is who we got right here. And so it's just like, how is it going to unfold? Again, I don't know. I really, really don't. I'm guaranteeing you that the Baltimore Ravens are going to be a great team, that the Buffalo Bills are going to be a great team. I think the Kansas City Chiefs will be a great team. The Eagles will be a great team. And all of these teams, the Chiefs are going to win a close game, and they're going to be like, oh, they were kind of fortunate to do that. Jalen Hurts is going to win a game, but he's not going to throw for 10,000 yards, and they're going to be like, see, Jalen Hurts is a weakness. Lamar Jackson's going to do something absolutely out of this world, and we're going to be like, that's amazing, and then he's going to lay an egg. And they're going to be like, oh, well, can he win the big game? Josh Allen is also going to be Superman in a moment, but then he's going to lose a game to whoever, the Bengals. I forget exactly. I don't remember their exact schedule, but he's going to lose a game where they're going to be like, oh, see, I don't know. Can they get over the hump? Will Kansas City Chiefs luck run out? Can Jalen Hurts repeat what he did last season? Like it's just going to be copy paste. This coming season is going to be the biggest moment of collective deja vu. We're all going to be like, wow, we've been here before. I can't tell you how many times we're going to have the same segments. Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson? Proof Lamar Jackson is having a better season than Patrick Mahomes? Who would you rather have, Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow? Is Jalen Hurts holding back the Eagles? It's going to be the exact same thing. It's just copy, paste. And it's not even a bad thing. It just shows you how great and consistent. It's like, I'm not blaming the shows or the media even. Because in a lot of ways, everyone's kind of backed in a corner. Because it's just how great and consistent these teams and players have been. That it's just the same conversations again. And no one's having this conversation about, like, who would you rather have, Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott? Like, no one's having that conversation. Because Dak can't hold his own. No one's talking about Tua and Josh. Who would you rather have, Lamar Jackson or Tua? That's not a conversation anyone feels like talking about. But it's because of all these teams and players are consistently great and consistently in the moment, in the conference championship games, either playing each other in the Super Bowls. It's just like, well, that's why we just keep having these same conversations over and over and over again, which is why, truly my final point now is like, it can never be a bold prediction for any of these. Lamar Jackson MVP, Jalen Hurts MVP, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, like it all makes sense. These aren't bold predictions. These are the safest predictions. A bold prediction is Baker Mayfield, Super Bowl MVP. Even Jaden Daniels, Super Bowl MVP. CJ Stroud, Justin Herbert. Those are some bold predictions. Picking a quarterback or the team that has consistently been great for almost coming along a decade now, that's easy. That's basic. And I'm not even asking for bold predictions, quite frankly. Like I'm not into the whole bold predictions. I want like real accurate conversations. So, yeah. I don't know. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? How bold of a prediction is this? And do you think it's not even just bold, but do you think it would be the best prediction? I'd rather you answer this question in two different ways. Do you think this is a bold prediction? Yes or no? But also, and more importantly, what do you think is the more realistic outcome, actually? Jalen Hurts MVP. Let's just take the top 4 Super Bowl winning team odds to win the Super Bowl. Any of those 4 quarterbacks, what do you think would be the safer bet, or most likely to hit? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.